yes, honey, because I'm resting and catching up on some self-care today. So, God gave to me be single and whole. When I first started this journey 4 years ago, um, after my last divorce, yeah, y'all, I've been married a few times, three to be exact. After my last divorce, God began to instruct me, and He said, this time, He said, all this space and stuff that you've been filling with seat fillers. He said, this right now, this is this season of wholeness. Okay, it's time to take out the trash. It's time to learn how to be a single individual and to thrive and be whole. Be whole in who I created you to be. I created you whole. Okay? And let me tell you something. I was never that girl who sat around and dreamed about being married. Okay, that was not my thing. It was just like people seemed to come. And depending on what the situation was at the time, if it was beneficial to my situation, it's just like, okay, I guess so. We're dating. Might as well get married. But I've never had been in a marriage out of the 3 times that I've been married to where I knew it was God ordained. And that's because I didn't know who I was. Coming out of shame, coming out of brokenness, you know what I mean? That, often a lot of us experience as young children, whether, unintentional or not, is that things still happen. And you don't recognize how it plays out so much in your life, as time progresses and you're going through and, fumbling your way and making horrific mistakes. Oh, Lord, we ain't gonna even get into that. That's a conversation for another day. But God called me to this place of now it is time to be single and whole. It is time to be who He called me to be, to seek out and to find out what His will and purpose is for me being here. And the reason He preserved me the way that He did, man, let me tell you something. If I look like what I've been through, I look 80. It ain't nothing but the grace of God that has preserved my mind, my body, and spirit. He has kept me from being, full of sickness and disease, like from, honey, please, from taking myself out, somebody else taking me out, or taking them out. Like, He saved me from so much, and I know He preserved me for a time such as this. Now it is time to live a life of wholeness. Now it is a time to establish the kingdom principles that was His original, that was the precepts of this whole thing for each and every one of us. I want to discover who He created me to be. There's no more guilt and shame. There's no more guilt and shame about none of it. I want to be who God created me to be. And that's been my journey. And that's been the process and the steps I've been taking to heal in these past 4, now going into 5 years. Okay? But healing is real. You have to do the work. And many don't want to do the work. Instead of doing the work, we spend the time that we have being single, filling our minds with a bunch of trash, you know what I mean? And trying to figure out why we're still attracting no good people. Because we still no good individuals. We ain't done nothing to develop ourselves, to grow in any kind of way or change our mindsets. That is not being single and whole. That's not. That's just being single and idle. Being single and whole is when you're beginning to tap in to who God created you to be, when you are beginning to live your life and thrive in the wholeness that He created you with in His original design, for His original intended purpose and plan. That's it. But these toxic sisterhoods and these toxic friendships and these toxic relationships, that comes from lack of authenticity. That comes from being out of alignment and being out of alignment of who God created you to be. It's not congruent. That's why we have anxiety, depression, and bipolar. Dealt with that too. But guess what? My life was out of alignment. I was not walking and I was not, being authentic to who He created me to be. All right. So no more seat fillers. Get rid of the toxic relationships, because when you get rid of the wrong, you will be surprised about how much wrong leaves your life when the wrong people leave your life. Okay? Be open to the things of God. Get with yourself and be still and decide to truly heal and to really do the work so that you can become the person that you want to attract. Okay? Yes, we can attract people just based on needs, but most oftentimes than not, we all attract what's in us. We attract who we are. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you. And the proof is in the pudding. Come on now. So if you want better and you want a better atmosphere and you want to attract better, you first have to think better. You first have to be better. Success starts within. It's not an external thing. It all starts within. And it all starts with being and knowing who you are as an individual and being authentic to who you are as an individual. Okay? Be single and whole. I love y'all.